We're here for our official start of the orange generation, and it's actually looking like Amber might be the most balanced of the group. So for all the trouble she causes, it definitely looks like it's her brothers who are experiencing some issues. We have two ailments going on here. Phoenix, it has the emotional void ailment from being very imbalanced. Phoenix feels like his emotions have been drained away, leaving nothing but an empty void. Now, for the record, I have cured Phoenix of this ailment 3 times now, and it keeps coming back. And his brother, Rusty, has also picked up an ailment. I did learn today, thanks to a mod, that these things can actually be transferred by touch. Now, he has the gnome lure ailment. Occasionally, Rusty catches a whiff of himself, and it is really funky. Whenever he notices this, some unwanted guests arrive. Gnomes. Yeah, we had some gnomes on the lot, and I didn't put them there, and I was like, what's going on? And then I noticed that Rusty's looking a little rusty. So we are here in Innisgreen to try to pick up some more cures for these ailments and hope that it actually sticks this time. Now, I have been having an issue with how quickly these ailments come about, and I know I'm not the only one. In fact, there are 2 mods that I know of so far that aim to reduce how quickly the ailments occur. I was using the one by Waffle, and I felt like I was still getting ailments very frequently. That mod was in place when Phoenix got his multiple ailments. It closes at 7, so he should be here. I'm hoping he shows up. Otherwise, we might have to try crafting our own. But we don't really have the skill for it, so I don't know what to do. But then also, because that mod didn't work, I noticed that Little Miss Sam came out with a mod that does the same thing, but has the addition where it reduces how easily things are transferred by touch. So hopefully we reduce the chance that others in the family will also get sick when these two are. I think we might have to try making our own cures because we're not doing well. Okay, I don't know what kind of level we need for these, but he has the emotional void and he has the gnome lure ailment. So I want to take a look at both of those. The gnome lure will need daisy and lemon, and the emotional void we would need basil and an aura petal. Luckily, all those ingredients are available for us, and Phoenix already has some skill because of the fact that he has been here a couple of times trying to get things going. I think I'm going to let him continue studying that. I'd like to believe, story-wise, that because Phoenix is a writer, he's kind of doing some research and studying to improve his writing. He's getting very hungry and not having fun, but I really, really, really need him to get this. Because he's imbalanced, his skill gain is slower, so it's taking longer than it normally would for him to do this. Oh, thank goodness. We finally reached level 2. His needs are just absolute trash right now, but we're going to get through these 2 cures. Fortunately, we now have the ability to do some foraging and such, so he might be able to find some food to snack on and probably get some sleep here. Alright, he has the cure. Let's go ahead and take it. And I'll give Rusty his cure and have him take that. And Amber's over here. She's feeling hungry. I think once the 2 of them are feeling, okay, you're feeling better and you're feeling better, life is good, we're going to get out of here. Alright, a couple of her friends have joined her and they've come here just to kind of cause a little trouble, but she's also going to grab something to eat. She's feeling a bit hungry. And then her plan is to do a little bit of mischief, a little pranking of toilets and annoying customers, that sort of thing, so that, she's just doing her thing. Alright, her snack is done. She's heading on in here to go ahead and prank a little bit on the toilets. I can't believe she's not getting caught with someone right there, but No, Antonio, don't clean the sinks. We're here to spread rumors about the other person who's with us. Okay, you're really excited about things. I feel like Colton is not necessarily a bad guy, you know? I think he, um, yeah, he's a little too trusting. Um, she's gonna pickpocket him when he's not paying attention. I heard Colton works as an exotic dancer. I don't know, in high school, I'm not sure that that would be, like, a bad bit of gossip, to be fair. Depending on the crowd, you know? Oh, you can't... Can you maybe come over here and gossip a bit? Get a little closer? Um, I mean, he's enjoying the gossip, apparently. Be a little funny, to make some funny faces. I mean, he's a Huntington, so there's a pretty good chance he can handle if she pickpockets him a little bit. We got a little bit of negative. Is it because... Oh, wait. Oh, well, that was really awkward looking, but she managed to pickpocket, made 2 simoleons, and got a level 4 boost to mischief. We can now share conspiracy theories with other Sims and use a computer to send chain letters or an observatory to spy on neighbors, which is always a fun one. We'll monkey around with him a little bit. I feel like he's the type, though, she would become partners in crime with. Not because he is a mischievous type, because he's far too trusting and she could get away with a lot with him. And, you know, he has even that, like, trusting sim look to his face, doesn't he? He just looks like the type that you could fool into anything. Oh, we haven't pranked this toilet yet, so we should get in there before we're too late. And then we should kind of gossip with Colton now, maybe talk a bit about Antonio and, you know, say things to him. We can be a little mischievous to him as well. We'll do a little what's that spot. And I feel like Colton is not going to as easily fall for our stuff, but we're still going to attempt to do some things. I heard Antonio messed around with 10 Sims behind the bleachers. Yeah, I don't feel like Antonio's the type to do that. So that could be a pretty damaging... Even if he was the type to do that, that could be a very, very damaging rumor. Okay, let's see if we can pickpocket here. In front. She's got to take a picture of herself first. She's such a teen sometimes. Yeah, the pickpocketing animation there is so awkward looking. Ooh, I don't know if I'd want to order anything from a place that looks like that. She's hungry and needs to go to the bathroom. Neither of those seems like a great plan for her right now. Let's see. We could troll the forums on there, but I was hoping we could swipe something little. She does kind of have that ability now, but it's very limited. Okay, she could attempt to swipe this twice, apparently. But with everybody here, that doesn't seem like a very smart idea. Okay, even though obviously Kelsey is way older than them, and there's no chance that Colton is actually, like, flirting with her or anything, Amber's just very much the jealous type. She has no interest in actually dating Colton, but she doesn't like that Colton is talking to someone else. That's just not allowed. So she's going to be rude and kind of, like, in a snarky kind of way. You know, not like outright pranks or anything like that, but, you know, just being generally, like, fake nice to her. I think she's even going to ask her due date, you know, really drive home this rudeness. And with that, we reach mischief level 5. Oh, and that means we have the noxious cloud prank. Oh god. Oh no, oh. She's so gross. Chaos rules. Amber is having a good time with this activity. She gained a new like. I think she already liked mischief, so fair enough, but yeah, I'm not at all surprised. Colton's like, what are you doing? You're being rude unnecessarily. Chill a little bit. I think she's going to have more of a positive relationship with Antonio. Part of the reason why I think that is we are supposed to kind of have someone who we are a partner in crime with, and someone who is there pretty young in our lives, and eventually over time we start to realize we have feelings for them. And I don't know. I feel like Antonio is looking like the type that we would fall for. He deserves far better than her. But, you know, it's just gonna maybe work out for them. I would like to go to prom with her. I keep hovering over this because I'm not sure how I would like to do this. I feel and I wish that there was an option to go to prom, but with the intention of kind of picking on the things that are at the prom, not necessarily participating in the prom, but doing negative things while at the prom. So I kind of, when you go, they want you to do things like vote for the prom royalty and all, dance and all of that stuff. And I feel more like she would be the type to go and prank the toilets and tease people who are there, or prank something in some way. Just, I wish that that were an option, that you could have more of a negative prom experience. I gave Barney and Judy's room a little bit of a makeover. I hadn't really been loving it, and I just thought it would be fun to kind of change things up a little bit. And oh, he has brain block from burning out. I think we can afford to let him take a bit of a break. No playing instruments, no going to work. I think it might be a good idea for us to take a few days off. Now, we don't have to focus too much on him because we have actually finished with his entire generation, but I am continuing to work on building skills just as a personal thing for myself. Now, as you can see, we have more than enough skills added up here, and piano is almost there. Fitness will probably be there soon. I think maybe he should go for a little bit of a jog. Speaking of fitness, apparently he doesn't feel he should go for a jog because I'm not finding that option. Oh, he's not able to do it while he's pregnant. Yeah, that bug is beginning to seriously suck. I think Amber's going to sneak onto her parents' computer and do a little trolling of the forums. She's not allowed to have a computer because of her tendency to do this, but she's just kind of sneaking in there, hoping nobody will notice. Ooh, the execute heist. I've been having her do this occasionally. It does take a bit of time for a cooldown. I think she's going to do a group, oh, not a group heist with her uncle. No, 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 no. She doesn't want her family to know about this. I think another solo heist. I must admit that it is getting kind of complicated to keep up on a household of 8. Now, I've had large families before, and maybe it's because this is like my main long living legacy. It's a big deal to me, so I always put more into it than maybe a lot of my other saves and series and such. I've had this family for many, many, many generations. They are descendants of the very first sim I created in Sims 4, so they do kind of matter more to me. So I try to make sure every one of them has like an interesting life, or they have goals and purposes and things that they're doing. And I think that adds more to it. But at this point, I'm actually very much looking forward to Amber moving out on her own and being able to get to that stage where we're not in a full household. The problem is that when Amber moves out, not long after, she will have twins. So the challenge calls for us to have a set of twins, and kind of has to be relatively young in her life. So kind of, I guess I feel, and it's not meant to be stereotypical, but I feel because she's kind of such a, I guess a screw up, as some would say, that she's going to make some less than fantastic decisions and probably have her children rather young. She'll still be living in like a crappy apartment when it happens, all of that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, we're not going to have that time just by herself for very long. Then again, to be fair, when we do get down to one sim, because I'm used to having so many sims in a household at any time, I do admittedly start to get a little bored because I don't have enough. We've got a burglar coming to our lot. Oh no. We do have an alarm. Is it enabled? It's armed. Okay, wait. There we go. Oh, good. Okay, how do we react? Call the police station. Call someone quick. Burglar! The police are on the way. Get to safety and do not engage. We all stand here staring. The kids are staring. Yep. Police are... Oh, we just got money from something. Oh, Amber's heist. Oh, I love the fact that there is actually somebody breaking in just as Amber's getting home. Amber's going to have to try to act like she wasn't just doing something she shouldn't be. Shady shenanigans. Whoops. Shady shenanigans from a Oh my goodness. Shady shenanigans from a successful heist. Some might question Amber's methods, but spotting and seizing opportunities brings her joy. Alright, can we turn off this alarm? Officer? Respectfully? Could you... Oh man. Could you imagine if she pickpocketed the police officer? Why don't we do a funny introduction with the police officer? We're gonna be like... Oh, now he's gonna decide... Oh, he's just gonna sit down. We're all gonna have some tea. She's gonna walk away. Why do we have a hygiene potion on the table? That's so random. Alright, are we gonna be like besties? Are you gonna... We're gonna tell you a funny story. We're gonna be completely charming. We are going to, compliment his outfit. We want him on our side if we're gonna be getting into trouble in the future, you know? Talk about the rain. Oh, it must really suck having to walk around and do this stuff in the rain. I mean, gets your lovely uniform all dirty. I don't know how you handle it. We're gonna ask you about your career, while the burglar, by the way, is just standing there, not in cuffs. I suspect she might be a friend of hers, you know? It seems like the kind of thing. Okay, so we've learned you're an officer. What happens if we pickpocket an officer? Oh, you're being very subtle. Okay, now we just acquired the pickpocketing skill. Sims can pickpocket other Sims to steal a small amount of money from them. To do so, simply click on any Sim that's not currently living in your active household. Alright, but beware, if your Sim's pickpocketing skill is low, chances are high that your Sim will be caught while trying to steal. Level up this skill to be more successful and gain more money from each pickpocketing interaction. And who knows, maybe something special awaits your Sim once they have achieved the rank of Master Thief. Yeah, for now, she's gonna chat up, you're gonna confront the burglar. You're gonna think you're something special. She successfully stole simoleons. From a police officer, mind you. And now she's gonna think she's tough and can confront this burglar. Ugh, and that alarm is really obnoxious. Can we please turn that off? Oh, they're finally leaving. Does that mean the alarm's gonna go off? Oh, thank you. Nope, still on. I was wrong. Wait, we can get it to shock. Police Link security upgrade? Yeah, we're gonna have to do some upgrades to this. Maybe if I reset it. There we go. Okay, I don't want to turn it off. But I do want to make sure that we get some electronic upgrade parts so we can finish upgrading that fully. I'd love to see what happens when our burglars get shocked. I almost forgot to mention that Judy has been selling her paintings on Plopsy. I don't know if I mentioned that in the last episode, but she's actually starting to sell some. Even the poor quality ones are selling for a pretty significant amount of money. So I think she's finding a new place. She kind of gave up a lot when she decided to sell her previous business. So it's nice that she's finding her place again. I also think Amber's just feeling like she's not really getting enough attention. All these people at home, as I was mentioning, it's very busy around here, and she's feeling a bit like disconnected from the rest of the family, and she wants to get some attention. So I think that she's going to run away from home. Now, we still play with the family. She just kind of takes off, but it's kind of a chance, I think, for her to get some, attention. I would love to go to the prom with you, but we're kind of in the middle of finding out what Amber does here. She's not going to chat with Judy. And I think, Sienna, seeing you're feeling well, I'm going to go ahead and have you mix up some lemonade and start a lemonade stand. A little afternoon lemonade stand. Sounds like a lot of fun. Also, to address the gigantic bunch of flowers out here, I'm trying to basically find everything I can to keep his little astral projection busy whenever he does the skillful sleep. So I'm trying to come up with all of the various types of skills and such that I can throughout the house. And the nice part is that they kind of all will do some of these skills as well. So it is making everyone more active skill-wise. All right, and I want to say that Judy has now realized that Amber isn't home. She didn't announce she was leaving or anything like that. She will have tried calling, trying to get a hold of her, but she's not responding. And so she's going to go ahead and report that she has run away. All right, the authorities have been alerted and will begin a search for the missing teen. Now, she's actually feeling pretty darn good under the circumstances. I mean, she has a missing child, and she's like, yeah, that's cool. I'm just going to keep painting. Oh, Phoenix is feeling unwell. We're going to go ahead and get you some... Oh, this is not your computer. Get you some medicine. For numerous reasons, I did remove the mods again. I always think that I enjoy playing with them until I'm playing with them. All of the illness type mods. They are fun to have that additional interaction and difficulty, but they're also a bit like unreliable, and for that reason it can be kind of difficult to keep playing with them. Sure, Grandma, you can come over. So I tend to kind of get overwhelmed with them after a while. It just becomes too much. Okay, missing teen sim. Judy's teen has run away from home. She isn't sure if she's more disappointed or worried. Hopefully they come back home soon. Maybe Judy should report them as a runaway so the authorities can help bring them home safer. And after misreading that, it was like, nope, you're not allowed to read this anymore. So we don't get to finish reading that. It no longer exists. Caught up in caffeine. Amber feels pretty good about running away so far. Everything seems to be going smoothly. Well, that is until she sees a coworker of her parents at a coffee shop she ducked into. What should she do? Stay seated, they'll pass by soon, or go to the bathroom and hope they didn't see. Well, she does tend to spend a lot of time in the bathrooms. She knows her way around all the bathrooms in town because she's been pranking all the toilets, so I think that's what she's going to do. Unfortunately, when Amber tried to use the bathroom, it was locked. And just her luck, the coworkers started coming towards the back where the bathroom was. It looked like it was going to be a catastrophe, when it turns out they were just dropping something absentmindedly in the trash, turned around, and left. Oh, there's definitely something going around the family. Sienna is feeling unwell now. I think at this point in time, the only one not to have gotten sick was Coraline. Everyone else has had some form of illness or another. Most of them were just your standard, upset tummy or something like that. We did have the ailments for the two, but I'm not sure. Something's definitely going around the family today. Hey, and Barney came home with a promotion. He's been promoted to symphonic string player, and he got a huge bonus. We're actually not at all hurting for money, so that's not that big of a deal, but the promotions are definitely nice. This is such a random thing, but I would love for there to be a mod where we have more friendship bracelet options. These feel very limited. I'm saying this as someone who's been kind of obsessed with making friendship bracelets lately. There are so many options out there that were not out there when I was in high school. And I'm loving all the designs. I'd love to see that represented here. It looks like the clubs are finally working again in my game. So I am creating a club for Coraline. She's someone who's very social and definitely needs more friends. So I'm just kind of creating a little drama club. I seem to do the drama clubs pretty often. I don't know what it is. I just feel like it's the best way. Quentin just looks very serious, and we need to add him to this club. All right, so Backstage Buddies, where tiny stars shine bright and big imaginations take center stage. Backstage Buddies is a drama club full of giggles, costumes, and curtain calls, because every sim deserves their moment in the spotlight. And with that, she's made some friends. It is pretty late at night, though, so we'll wait until tomorrow to gather the club together. Trapped in a stall while trying to blend in at the mall. Should we quickly leave so not to get caught, or stand on the stall? I think she's going to quickly leave. As Amber heads for the door, security stops her to ask if she dropped $50 on the floor behind her. Thinking it's a trick, she says no and quickly leaves as the security guard pockets it. Maybe she should have just said yes so as to secure a night at a cheap hotel. It's funny to me because I was just talking about how chaotic it feels with 8 Sims in the house and how everything is so much. And oddly enough, now that Amber is not in the home, everything feels so calm. They actually are running out of things to do and not keeping busy. And I'm actually trying to find things to keep them entertained because it's just a long weekend with not a lot to do. I don't feel like Amber is that disruptive to the family. So it's just interesting that it is affecting the dynamic so much. All right, the Backstage Buddies have gathered and we have made a little bit of a breakfast for everyone. Probably a bit of a strange breakfast, but you know, we're not that picky about meals around here. Barney is out riding his bike, despite the fact that there was a break there and we now have the fix for this pregnancy bug. He still can't jog because he's supposedly pregnant. This whole thing is so weird. I want to get to know each of them because I need to figure out who is going to be her BFF. So we're going to work our way through and ask about each of them in general and see who is most like us. Alright, so she's a gamer, geek, and a scribe. Yeah, I'm not feeling that. He's stubborn, a movie buff, and lazy. It could kind of tie in a little bit there. Let's see, genius, occult enthusiast, and cheeky. It's okay, but not really what I'm thinking. Socially anxious, music lover, and daydreamer. Basically her exact opposite. In some ways, though, I think that might actually work the best because she's very social, very much the one who wants all of the attention. So it would make sense that her best friend would kind of be in the background a little bit, kind of her opposite. Judy's just figured out she's neat. That's not a surprise to anyone, I think. Amber found a pretty off-the-map restaurant to grab a bite to eat, but it turns out that she's a few simoleons short for the meal if she is to stretch her simoleons as far as they can go. What should she do? Cough up the full amount and figure it out later, or stiff on the check and walk out casually? Now, someone who is mischievous and tends to steal things, it would not at all be unusual for her to just stiff on the check. Oh no, the waitress caught Amber's shortchanged bill and yelled after her as she left, saying she was going to call the cops. Better make a quick break for it before the authorities show up and take Fayed Hera into custody. And with that, Coraline has now reached social level 10. This actually makes sense to me. Coraline and Sienna have a difficult family dynamic. They are very different from each other, and that can either work to bring them together or split them apart. In the case of the person who will be our best friend, it's bringing them together, but I think that close proximity to Sienna, they've just kind of, they butt heads. These ailments are getting out of control. I have mods even to slow them down, and they're still just overpowering. Now, I'm certain that I read somewhere that we could, oh, there we go, visit a naturopath, and that will give us a cure. He has a creation impulse ailment. At least we have the finances to be able to send him to a naturopath so that we don't have to keep going. I think it's going to be wise for him to just learn how to do things. Yeah, it's about time you clean that up. We never did get around to selling the lemonade we put out there. It's been a bit chaotic. Phoenix has gotten a promotion to camp director. He will now make an additional 15 simoleons per hour. He's actually doing very well for a teen job. We're actually just 3 days away from him aging up. I can't believe that he is almost an adult. I think he's probably going to be the most prepared of everyone in this family for adulthood. He's very much got a good head on his shoulders. He does a lot of writing and is actually doing pretty well with it. He has a small book that has been making some daily income. He really just spends a lot of time writing. He's actually working on a book right now, and I think he'll be okay. We will possibly let him hang around here for a little bit. I think it'll depend on how much I'm getting overwhelmed by the family. Amber, I'm amazed she's actually still run away. She's actually had incredible luck with everything going on with her runaway. She's doing better than I expected, basically, overall. And we have 10 days until she ages up. Rusty, as her twin, will age up on the same day. He's kind of, we're still like, I feel like we're still finding out who he is. He's definitely one who doesn't seem really settled into what he enjoys doing. Kind of, he likes to be dramatic. He likes to do, different stuff, but I don't think he's happy there because he's spent a lot of time feeling imbalanced and getting unwell because of it. So I think maybe we need to really look at other options and kind of get a better idea of who he is. I am seeing that he has a natural scientific brain and he is a savant. It might be wise to start looking a little bit more into that. He also is a gardening and fishing whisperer. So he's just naturally good at natural stuff. And maybe we should explore that a bit. Maybe we just haven't really found who he is yet. He's at least a little closer to balanced since visiting the naturopath, but yeah, he's still suffering from multiple illnesses. The naturopath provided emergency care for Rusty and helped him regain some balance. Thanks to that, he's no longer very imbalanced, but he'll need to do more work before getting back to balanced. Any lingering ailments were also cured. As a thanks for Rusty's visit, the naturopath sent him home with some calming draft. Where we probably will need to take that. He's still stuffed up from an illness. He still has the weird digestion. Yeah, he's just a mess right now. I really think finding out what he wants to do is going to be kind of the key to getting him back in balance. Also, looks like Barney has a new nephew. All right, now looking at Sienna, we have 6 days until she ages up. She's always kind of just been the one who doesn't really have a set place. I think she's going to be the one who kind of comes into her own as a teen. She's very quiet, very much the shy one of the group. Oh, and it looks like Amber has returned home, and the runaway teen has returned home on their own. It's saying that she was found by authorities. And Amber exhibits less control over her moods and emotions compared to other Sims her age. This lack of emotional control may affect her behavior and worsen with time. But she's feeling really balanced, really happy about what she's doing. She does feel like she's having a bit of bad luck, but overall, I don't know. All things considered, I think she did un- unbelievably well for someone who ran away. Let's be honest. All right, and finally, just taking a look at Coraline. She also has 6 days until she ages up. We're gonna work on making her a friend, and I think that's where I'm just gonna kind of wrap things up for today. It is so chaotic in this household all the time. Um, you notice how the chaos just came back the moment Amber came home. I don't know. It something about her presence just makes everyone what? That said, someone left lipstick on Grandpa's walker. You know what? I have no idea. I'm gonna leave it with that. Thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day and keep on being perfectly you.